20 years of democracy. How do you view the changes in the town and the surrounding areas?
Leanne, first of all, if you can remember Madiba, when he launched the 1 million houses a year program of Joe Slovo, he did it here in this area in Newmansdorp. And we have been quite successful in that, in terms of local government or national government. But there are challenges. We have set a lot of policies and institutions and committees in place. But there's a challenge, and I think it's a national challenge. Our people do not rise up and assert themselves to protect the gains of democracy. A case in point, like, for example, here, we don't have for the last plus minus 10 years of the new amalgamated council of 9 towns. We don't have infrastructural development for poor communities. On the other hand, you have rich areas, private developments that are using public finance, targeted or budgeted for the poor, MIG finance, as you call it, municipal infrastructure grants, to build infrastructure for private developments where people are not even staying on at the moment. Yet in the midst of these areas, there are poor communities that cannot get the record of decisions to build RDP houses. That government has money readily available for them, but the money that has been budgeted for them for infrastructure, our local council are giving to private developments. So those are the challenges, and then you have the community just sitting back. It's almost the slumbering spirit that is over our communities. Our communities has become really powerless, although there are all these institutions, committees and policies that says you can act. Our communities are not standing up and defend their gains and take what belongs to them.
Do you almost feel in a way that some of the communities have almost been forgotten? Because, you know, I've been reading my tweets, and there's one, I'll read all of them a bit later on in the program, but just there was one that says, yes, where you're broadcasting from, Pepper Street's fabulous, but you move a little bit out of the town and a few kilometers away, and it's like a forgotten town.
It is.
Do you feel that way?
It is. Jeffreys Bay is very interesting in the sense that the apartheid government allowed black communities to stay near to the sea in the Eastern Cape. So we are actually, the community where I'm coming from, Pelsrus, right here in Jeffreys Bay, we're actually surrounded by affluent areas. We are in the middle, and as you just go to, I think it's 2 or 3 kilometers from here, you find that the rubbish in the street, you find squalor. What is also interesting, for example, just in terms of services, national government is really trying to address this, the issue of providing services to poor communities. But then you have our local administration that are refusing monies. For example, we had, as you know, the National Bucket Eradication System, where the Thule House of the ANC have sent people here, go and find out how many buckets are there. And then administration said there's a need for 150 million rand to eradicate buckets in this area. Areas as far as Hankie, we still have a long drop system. Oyster Bay, Mzamawethu, where they want to build a nuclear power plant. In those areas, there are buckets in Newmansdorp, in Thornhill, right here in Jeffreys Bay. Areas stinking. It's a shame. The national government want to do away with that. Then you have administration that says, we don't need this. You have one official say there is a need for it. You have another official say there is no need for this. The very same department, technical services in particular, of this municipality say just moving monies, municipal infrastructure grant to private developments and taking money away from poor people. That is a shame on this 20 years of democracy.
Corruption sounds like, for me, what's at the root of all of this?
That is a pattern, Leon. I mean, you cannot prove it, but that is a pattern. You see these tendencies where our council are doing that. A certain department, finance department, for instance, they are doing the shifting of monies to these private developments, taking money really away, because this money just on book, it was budgeted for poor areas. Yeah. The fact is there, and then it not being spent. 42 million rand, for example, here in Jeffreys Bay on a wastewater treatment plant that would mainly benefit private developments. Yet on the books, it was budgeted for poor areas, and so those communities do not stand up. Yeah. And I think we ourselves to be blamed. We do not stand up. We expect to be led. Once we have elected a councillor, once we have put officials in place, we expect to be served by them. We don't protect. I mean, the human factor is always there, the issue of corruption. And unless we stand up and assert ourselves and say, look, we want you to account for this, then democracy is not going to work for us. And here I particularly speak about the church, because I'm a member of the church. If we do not be the salt and be the light, because we have nothing to lose but to gain. Yeah.
Randall, well put. I think you speak for many communities around South Africa. That's the truth. Randall is a community leader here in the area in Jeffreys Bay, and I think that what he's saying is so true. The money is there, but it's not being spent on bettering the lives of people. So you have a voice, you have a vote, do something with it, and don't just sit back and allow this all to happen. Randall, thank you very, very much for being with us. Randall Arnold, community leader in the area around Jeffreys Bay. Thank you. All right, let's go back to the Johannesburg studio as Arnold